Lucifer, throw it up, where you from? Throw it up, where you from? Going down, going down. Oh, sauce it out, you too much, you too much.
What's up, guys? We are back again. All right, we're going to talk about TradingView and how to navigate TradingView. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So over here, you have the pair, is what you would call the pair. You have the USD or the US dollar to the Swiss franc dollar. You have your time over here. You can go anywhere from a minute. And you can add days or add different time frames depending if you pay for TradingView or not. Here you can change the way your candlesticks look, or you can do the bar graph. You could do hollow candles. You can do those candles. I don't know why people use these candles. The line chart, which is easier to read to see if price has broken structure. You can use it to identify the trend because you have less noise versus looking at candles. You got a whole lot going on trying to figure out what's what, right? Some of these you may not even be able to get if you don't have said subscription for that, whatever the case may be, that look, that style. Okay, so here, me personally, I use the candlesticks because they are easier to read. I can tell what price was doing within this candle, where it has been. Whereas on the bars, you don't really tell everything that price has done. Just the open, the close, the high. This is the open. That's the high. That's the low, and this is the close. Okay. Go back to the candle so you can. So this is the candlestick. You got the wicks, which is these little things right here. It might be better to do it like this. You got the wick. This is the wick, and this is the candlestick or the body. So the whole thing is the candlestick. This is the body, and that's the wick. Okay. So then you have your compare, where you can compare different charts to others. Let's do USD Chef and odd USD. And clearly your odd USD is your line graph, and your USD Chef is your candlesticks. And typically they should do the opposite of each other because USD is on the opposite ends, which means when USD is strong, odd USD is gonna sell and USD Chef is gonna buy. See, it's sold right here and it started buying right there. All right, so that's the comparison. Indicators, you can add different indicators here, and they will pop up over here. You can close the eye if you don't want to see the indicator, but you don't want to delete it, or you can open the eye to see the indicator as shown. Press the X to delete it off the chart. Financials, obviously, whenever you have like your news, your earnings. I don't personally use the financials for anything. I don't know anybody that does. So we're just gonna skip right along. I've never seen this template before. I never used it, never explored it because I have no reason to. The alerts. So you create the alert. You have different ways to make an alert. Whenever price gets to that point, TradingView will notify you. You can set it to where to notify you on the app on your phone, and to send you an email, whatever the case may be, and you can change it to say whatever you want it to say. So there is one way of creating the alert, and I'll show you another way. So replay only works if you pay for TradingView. Basically, you can use that to backtest whatever strategy you use. You will play the candles, and this is like as if price is current price right now. This is where current price is at, as if you was back 26 December 19. And so you would just play it, and the candles play out just if they happen in real time. You can speed it up, slow it down, or you can go back to current price by exiting it. Undo is like you say you did something and you added the line right here and you didn't want the line. Undo it, right? You undo the last action. Or you had a line right there and you made a mistake and delete it. You can obviously press redo and it'll go back. Here's where you could change to have two different charts at the same time, kind of like the comparison. Or you can use USD Chef's 4 hour right here, and you can change this one to where to be USD Chef 1 hour, and you can see the difference as what they're doing right now. That way you can look at them at the same time. You don't have to have multiple tabs open. Depending on what subscription you have, determines how many charts you can use. When you don't want to keep deleting your indicators or your colors, whatever the case may be, you can save the layouts here. Your settings, where you can edit things. This is where you edit the background color. You can change it to white or a black or a gray or green if you want to. Okay, your vertical lines. I personally don't use the vertical lines. I like my chart as clean as possible. If you don't want them on there, obviously you would change them the same color as your chart and boom, they will go away. The session breaks. This is from one day to the next. So this is basically 24 hours. And then if you do the session break on the 4 hour, it's the same thing from one day to the next, and it's so on and so forth as you go at higher time frames. So let's go to settings again, take that off. Scales text is this over here. You can change the color and the size. Your crosshairs is these little things right here, the ones that's moving. Your watermark, that's this in the background. I like to use that from when I'm sending charts to my group. They don't have to look up here to try to figure out which pair it is. They can see it in the background, clear as day. And I like to leave it at a little light color, like literally like a watermark. And I don't typically change the top margin, bottom, or the right. So let's go to symbol. Symbol is where you can change the colors depending on however you want them, whatever color you want. I typically change mine a lot. I like to enjoy it. Sometimes I get bored of that color and I want to go to a different color, so that's just how it is. That's just what I do. Previous closed value line is where price previously closed at. Dividends, I don't know. Extended hours, I never really saw that. Never really had a need to use it. So yeah, that's that. And I leave precision as precision. You can change whatever time zone you're in. I'm in the United States, so I like to leave mine on New York. Because me personally, I want to see what price is doing at that time frame, because I typically trade USD pairs. So back to the settings. You can trade it wherever time zone you're in. Here, your OHLC values is these things right here. OHLC. You got your open, your high, your low, and your close of that current candle. Bar change values. Bar change values is like from the last price to what current price is at. Based on current price last, it is now up 3%. Indicator arguments is like when you have your indicators over here and you got the little extra colors outside. Those are your arguments. Your titles is this right here. Your indicator values will be the same thing. I don't have an indicator up here. Oh, boom. Look. So this one, if we take the indicator values off here, you won't see it. But if you leave it, see, these don't have any. So it say NA. So like here, this one don't have the indicator values. Well, that one don't have it anyway. Never mind. It's a bad example. Wrap text is... Never mind. You can't really tell. scales. So this right here is where current price is, and it tells you what that pair is. You can take that on, you can take it off. I like it off because, like I said, I like to have my chart as clean as possible. It'll tell you the price where current price is at, the numbers, so you don't have to try to figure out where it is. It'll show you already. Indicator name is like on this chart, you got a high and a low, so to tell you that this is Monday's high and this is Monday's low, as well as the value. Financials, we don't have financials on the chart, so we won't see that. This no overlapping labels is typically over here. If you have like lines like this, like you will see them. If you have no overlapping, they will overlap like that. If it's not, if it say no overlapping, if it not, it'll stack each other like this. That's up to you, personal preference. The countdown to bar close is, so here on this, because this is the 4 hour, well, market is closed right now, so you won't be able to really see it. Let's go to Bitcoin actually. Bitcoin's still open. So boom, right here you see it said 40 minutes and 52 seconds until this candle right here close and form a new candle. I like to have that on. I like my date like this because I'm military and that's just easier for me to read. But you can change it to however you want to, whichever format you want it. Apparent, we already talked about that. Trading, this is only if your broker allows you to make trades through TradingView. I don't have a broker that does that, so show position, show orders really don't matter. Your extend lines left and extend lines right. I mean left. That's interesting because I ain't never had to use that. It's just always been on. Oh, that's it. Oh, never mind. That's if your broker allow you to make open positions through TradingView. I have the buy sell panel, which is that right there. Again, that's only if your broker allows you to make trades through TradingView. Events is your news events down here. I like to have my future events on. That way they tell me, hey, on this pair, I know I'm going to have news here pretty soon, because sometimes I don't always look at my news calendar and know that this pair is currently having news coming up or whatever the case may be. This is helpful. Sometimes you may not have all the news events here because they are unexpected as well. So yeah, that's that. You can make full screen or not full screen. This right here is how you take a snapshot of your current screen, and you can share it with people and say, hey, this is what I see in this pair doing, or whatever the case may be. You can publish it to a video and it'll show you current price, what your prediction is. I'm starting to use this now. When I call out a trade and say, hey, I'll call this trade here and now it's up 600 something pips or something like that, whatever the case may be, whatever. Who knows? Something crazy, beautiful like that, right? Okay, before we get over here in all of these tools, let's go over here. You can add your symbols, any Forex pairs, any stock pairs, you will be able to add them right here. You can make you a list, delete the list by clicking this X. You can sort them by colors, where all the red pairs, if you have a red flag right here, will show up red. And if you have a yellow flag, orange list, then hey, now all your orange flags will show up in that one area. You could rename it like that. This is your menu button. I'm gonna call that your watch list. Here's where wherever you had the alerts for all the pairs, if they have went off, right here. And clearly right now at this point, I don't have any alerts triggered right now. This next one is a data window. It tells you everything that's right here. The time frame, the chart that you're looking at, whoever make that chart or broker makes it. and what this is, what pair it is. This is the hot list. These are stocks, and this is what most people are watching right now. You can use them to look at that if you want. This is this right here, your future events, some ideas that you may nope, cancel. Oh shoot. All right, whatever. These are your published ideas right here. This is where you would see all the ideas that you have published. People that's talking about different pairs, different topics, different conversations, their ideas, basically social media. If you have private chats, it's kind of self-explanatory. Notifications. Idea stream. Interesting. I don't know what that is. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Notifications. I don't know what the notifications is. I don't know why you would get a notification on TraderView outside the alert. That's if you have any orders, and my broker don't allow me to trade on TradingView. So yeah, I don't use that either. Okay, so boom, let's get back over here to the nitty gritty, your tools. So this, you can change your crosshairs from a crosshair to a dot. You'll still have a crosshair, but instead of your thing being a crosshair in the middle, it'll be a dot. Or you could do the arrow to where it's just an arrow. You don't have any crosshairs, but I like to use the crosshairs because I like to use it to see like that. It's easier to read the numbers off to the side versus only having an arrow or the eraser to erase that. Or you can do it that way, left click it, remove. Here you have your trend line tools. You can use the trend line. I don't know what the info line is for. I have never used it. I've only used the trend line, the horizontal line, the horizontal ray, vertical line, the arrow, and the parallel channel. All these other ones, I ain't never really used. I use the parallel channel to make a box or make a zone. I like to use horizontal rays more often than not. I typically don't care for the horizontal line because it's just all over the chart, and I like my chart as clean as possible. So boom, you can do that and press remove. So I like to use it, so I would say, hey, this is the reason, this area over here is the reason why I drew my line. This is the reason for this line right here. It's easier to identify, okay? So here you have your different tools. Some of the common tools that I use is the fib retracement. Actually, that's probably the only one I use from this area. So yeah, I have a video on the fib retracement. The geometric shapes, I use the brush sometimes to identify what's down here or whatever. You can draw it however you want to. And you could use it to make a rectangle box, kind of like the parallel. But this one is kind of like easier to maneuver versus the parallel channel, which is not. Like once that zone is kind of set, it's kind of set. You can extend it that way or whatever. You can do it this way, but it's easier to do it with the rectangle box versus, see, this whole thing is just gonna move, and you may not want that. You may just want to extend the whole thing. You can't extend it down like that. You're gonna be moving it. So I personally find the rectangle box easier to use. You have your ellipse, which is like your little circles. You can use to highlight specific candles or a specific area. Triangle basically is the same thing. It's just literally drawing shapes all over the screen. Oh, I ain't never used this. See, yeah, that's too much. Already too much. Curve either. I don't know what half these things is for. I don't even use half these things. Text is obviously self-explanatory. You can type. You can use these different tools to draw your patterns if you see them in the market, like head and shoulders. Or you have some other different patterns that they may use. Your ABCD, which is your harmonic pattern, this one. Your Elliott wave, which is kind of like this. And therefore, the expansion, which is price continuing going down. So you got a pullback type thing. I don't really use them, honestly. You have your risk to reward. Long position is a buy. It'll tell you how much you're risking, the percentage wise versus how much you're gaining, your potential. Short position is a sell. Same thing, your risk to reward. It is adjustable. You can move it. The red is your stop loss. The date range, instead of, you can see how far this is from here. It's 21 days and 12 hours. You got a price range. That's 142 pips, or you can use another tool, and I'll show you in a minute. You got both a date and price. Bars pattern. Basically, you just copy that. This pattern. What you use it for, don't ask me. I don't know. If I don't have to use it, I typically don't. I don't even know what this is for. That's pretty dope. Looks cool. You got all your different shapes. You can put them on your screen for whatever reason you may have. This right here is another way you can count pips. It is basically a date and price range. It's just easily accessible. It's called your measure. Oh, shift and click on the chart. Let's see that. Oh, look at that. Shift and click. Shift and click. So you ain't got to go over there and do it. Shift and click. Oh, that's pretty nice. You learn something new every day. You zoom in right here. You see this big old candlestick. Oh. And zoom out. I don't know why it zoomed in so far like that. Okay, there we go. It wasn't supposed to zoom in that big ass count. That was close. Your magnetic tool, basically, if you have drawings on the, it's a whole lot of stuff on the chart, y'all. Basically, if you have a line right here, you have your magnetic tool on. It'll go to the closest open and close of a candle, basically. I don't use it. This little pencil right here locks it. So let's say you're using your horizontal line and you don't want to have to keep going over here to click it. You can lock it to where you can use it multiple times, and then you will right click to cancel that whatever you have selected. You can lock the chart to where you cannot move your lines. Your drawings cannot be it can be deleted. Your drawings can't be moved. Your lines can't be moved. And you do that to unlock it. You don't want to delete your lines. You can just press the little eye and it'll hide it, and you can see the naked chart. And then you would just do that to see your lines and your drawings again. Your date range and your price range. Currently market is closed. This right here is where your indicators would be. And yeah, that's kind of all I have on TradingView. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.